Welcome back, everyone. It's here. And today I've got some r/BestOf for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was collected by Lucia Aria Rose, and their tagline is, "I'm keeping the garlic." Originally posted by Anna Maria 5 on r/Am I the Asshole. Posted February 3rd, 2025. Am I the asshole for breaking up with my boyfriend because he lost my dog? Hello everyone, it is my first time posting anything on here and English is not my first language. Please keep in mind I have been crying for the past 2 days, sorry for any mistakes. Me, 24 female, and my boyfriend, 24 male, have been together for almost 4 years. We got along okay for the most part. Things like him losing something of mine have happened, but never to this level. I have had my dog Milo, 12 female, for her whole life. We grew up together, and it's really hard for her to get to trust other people. She's always been an anxious girl, but she is my light of my life and has always been by my side even in my worst of days. 3 years ago, I introduced my boyfriend to my family, which is just my mom and Milo. He and my mom got along okay, but he did not acknowledge Milo in any way, which is fine. I did not expect him to be all over her, considering she does not like that. But I still found it pretty strange because he said he absolutely loved dogs, and to be honest, I believe that because he would always pet dogs when we were outside. Any interaction for the past 3 years with her was limited, but Milo warmed up to him. She would greet him, go to him for pets, which he sometimes gave, and accepted him on our daily walks. 1.5 years ago, Milo got sick. She had a tooth infection, which was pretty bad. Her whole right eye was swollen shut. I asked my boyfriend to take us to the vet because I don't have a car. The vet took care of the infection, gave me some antibiotics to give her every day, and instructions to clean the wound that was left after the vet cleaned the pus. For a couple weeks, I did not hang out that much with my boyfriend. I took care of Milo because she was not feeling great. One thing that stood out to me was the fact that he seemed pretty pissy every time I brought her up, talking about her progress. Looking back, that should have risen some red flags, but I guess I just brushed it off. Now that I gave you the short version of the past, this is what's happening in the present. I planned with my mom to go on a short vacation to visit my grandparents. I was talking to my boyfriend about this trip and I told him who would take care of Milo. My best friend, Alex, 23 male. My boyfriend then offered to take care of her. He was mad that I didn't come to him first, stating that he loves Milo and wants to go on walks with her. I reluctantly agreed, considering this love for her was out of the blue. The trip was supposed to last 3 days. On day 2, I was talking with my boyfriend on the phone, and he casually says that Milo really likes to stay outside. For me, this felt off, and I asked him what he meant. He left my sweet girl outside, hours at a time, alone, and would check up on her hourly. Mind you, I live in an apartment and I don't have a backyard. Me and my mom left as soon as I told her and we arrived back home around 9 p.m. Since then, I blocked my boyfriend on everything and I've been searching for my girl. I printed posters, went out every day for hours at a time, and put her on Facebook groups around my area. If you have any advice of something more I could do, please let me know. Now, he and his friend group say I'm an asshole because I put my dog above my boyfriend in all of our 4 years of relationship. I know for a fact this is not true, but I don't have anyone else to ask besides people that are really close to me and would be biased. I'm sorry for the long post, my mind is all over the place. Too long didn't read, my boyfriend lost my dog. He was never close to her and is calling me an asshole for breaking up with him. Some of OP's comments. Commenter, not the asshole. This is negligence, when he had responsibility to uphold. Heck, he might have done this on purpose. OP responds, this is what I'm the most afraid of. He seems smart enough not to let her alone outside considering how scared she is of everything. Thank you. Commenter, I think he did this on purpose. I would check with local veterinarians and see if he put Milo down. If he did, get a lawyer ASAP. I could never be with someone who had no regard for something as special as the love you have for your dog. OP responds, she is chipped. Would he have been able to do that without me? I didn't even consider this. Commenter, Check all your local shelters. It feels like he's given her away and is pretending she's wandered off. OP responds, that's what I did first thing in the morning. Left them my number and one of the posters to the ones that let me. Thank you. Commenter. Also, do you have any local farms, junkyards, tips, or nature, camping, hiking areas? You could drop posters off at these places to see if anyone has come across the dog, or her body. A worst case scenario I hope isn't true. OP responds, nothing like that. I'm more afraid that she's been hit by a car or attacked by other dogs. Thank you. Commenter. Can you ask to see his car for evidence of dog hairs to see if he drove her out of the area? OP. I doubt he would let me check, and I would rather not meet up with him anymore. Even if I find her fur, I think he would still not tell me if he did something to her. Thank you. Where OP lives. I live in Europe. I have a group of people helping me at the moment. Thank you. In regards to getting the police. I was not sure if the police would help me. I have no proof of him doing anything wrong, but it is worth a try. Thank you. Commenter. Sorry for hijacking the comment. I just want you to see this. I have heard that it helps if you leave the clothes you have worn around the neighborhood. I do not know if this is true, but at this point, I suspect you would try anything to find her. OP responds, I never thought of that. I'll bring some t-shirts when I go out later today. Thank you. OP explains on letting the ex take care of the dog in the first place. To be honest, him being mad that I did not ask him to care for Milo was very weird to me, considering the fact that he did not pay any attention to her in general. That's why he's not the first on my list. I should have trusted my gut and I feel guilty. To another comment. I agree, I have been naive, but he always went out of his way to pet dogs and cats when we were outside. Even if he did not like dogs or even my dog, it would not have been a big problem for me. I did not press him to spend time with her or come on walks with us. I did not talk about her excessively, besides when she was sick and I was giving him updates. This is the reason he was not the first on my list when it came to her care while I was away. Even though I found it weird that he wanted to care for her, harming her in any way was not on my mind. Commenter. Not sure if I'm understanding this correctly. Milo wasn't in a fenced backyard, but just outside in general? No fences, no leash, no monitoring, just put on the apartment's front lawn? OP responds, yes, you are correct, because she came back on the first day. He checked on her every hour, at least that's what he told me. OP clarifies, I'm sorry that it did not make any sense. I was in distress and I'll try to explain it better. Spoke to him on the phone. He told me she was outside. Told him to get her inside. He can't find her but says she'll come back. I tell my mom and we leave. We get home and he leaves my house. Comment 7 hours later. I filed a police report today, thank you. In regards to filing the police report, to be honest, they did not seem that interested about the situation, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. In regards to leaving clothes out, thank you for your time. I did leave some worn clothes in common areas and my neighbors are aware. I don't know what he wanted to achieve with this, but he for sure broke my heart. Maybe if he looked remorseful or helped me search for her, we would have been in better terms, but still not together. Him knowing that she is scared, but still leaving her outside, even if she did not leave, would make me put an end to the relationship. He knows what she means to me and my mom. He knows she only feels comfortable in my house. It's making me go crazy that someone who I thought was my person would do such a thing. Commenter. You lost me at, we get along okay for the most part. The bar is so low for some of y'all. OP, 19 hours later after the original post. When you're close to someone without an outside perspective, you might miss or brush things off. The fact that I said we get along okay is because I have nothing nice to say about him anymore. He has never mistreated me, spoke bad to or about me. The only thing he had a problem with, I guess, was my dog. Update post, February 4th, 2025, 31 hours after the original post. Hi, a lot of people asked me for an update. I should have waited until I got some rest, but you all were so helpful and you deserve to know how this ended. I've added it too long didn't read at the bottom and please excuse any mistakes. I am exhausted. My ex came today to get his stuff, and some of you might be happy for what you're about to read, but he did not get a single thing back. When he saw me, he started begging me to forgive him, and thanks to you again, I agreed to forgive him if he told me the truth. He just looked me straight in the face and said, "If I'm gonna be honest, you won't forgive me." My heart broke all over again, thinking about the worst of things. When he saw me cry, he told me I should get over it because she was already old, but if I really wanted her back, I should get back with him. And when he trusts me that I really forgave him, I could see her again. I was exhausted, hopeless, and angered, and even though I wanted my girl back, I could not look at him, let alone be with him for however long he thought it took for me to forgive him. So he left, not telling me a single thing about Milo. I got a call some hours later, and on the other end was a lady who found Milo on the side of the road. She told me she would wait for me to come because when she wanted to pick her up, she seemed to be in pain. When I got there, I saw her, laying there, and all my emotions flooded me. My sweet baby, even though she looked so different, she was alive. She's now staying overnight at the vet. She has 2 broken ribs and is dehydrated. If everything goes well, she will be home soon. I appreciate each and every one of you that took the time to guide me in this nightmare. Thank you again. I will be pressing charges. Some of OP's comments. Commenter, I'm so glad Milo is okay. I had a feeling he did something horrible to her. This man is dangerous, and he has shown you who he is. Please be safer and never let him back into your life. This is a massive stalker/sociopathic behavior. OP responds, thank you. We will never be speaking again. Commenter, agreed. I feel like he kicked her and broke her ribs and then she went away to hide. I don't think a car hit would have caused only broken ribs. That ex is a piece of shit and deserves nothing in life. OP, good luck. Best of wishes to you and Miss Milo. OP responds, the vet does not think she was hit by a car. It'll be on her file. Thank you. Commenter, did you have anything recording the conversation where he was trying to blackmail you into getting back together with him? Or have any of it over text? I hope to God you got it recorded somehow. He should fucking rot. OP responds, my friends recorded the whole interaction. Thank you. Someone offers OP financial help. I appreciate the offer, but I can afford her care. Please donate to shelters, they need it. Thank you so much. In response to the idea of publicly outing him, me and my friends who posted on Facebook groups have edited the post after she was found, and I made a separate post where I tagged him and his mom. Update. Same post, February 5th, 2025. The next day. Last update for a while. I have pressed charges and I now have a lawyer. I unblocked my ex like some of you said, and it was the best thing I did. He's incriminating himself, and my lawyer believes we have chances of winning. Also, I might be able to get a protection order. His friend group has apologized. His mom is in contact with me. Milo will be home later today and she has a very good chance of making a full recovery, at least physically. My locks will be changed tomorrow. Thank you all so much. I'm sending you and your pets the warmest of hugs. For those of you that wanted to see my girl, here you go. And Milo is just the sweetest little goober. Look how, oh. I was not expecting Milo to be such a small, sweet little bean. And, oh. What a fucking monster. Some of OP's comments. How's Milo doing? She's home, she still loves to cuddle with me and does not seem scared of my male friends, but she would rather not be close to them. Thank you for asking. To a downvoted commenter. I would rather not say what he did text me, but they range from him hurting me physically, being sorry that he did not do more to my girl, and begging me to forgive him. Hope this answers your question. He definitely hit Milo. I know he hit her. He's been messaging me that he should have done more. He's digging his own grave, and I'm so thankful for that. OP also posts an r/dog advice, February 6th, 2025, the next day. Hello everyone, my sweet girl is dealing with 2 broken ribs. Since she came back home, her breathing sounds weird. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it seems like she's making an effort and sometimes looks uncomfortable. Is this normal? Her vet appointment is tomorrow. Thank you. OP clarifies, she's been to a vet and is on pain meds. Thank you. Mini update a few days later in the comments, not enough for a full update. She is doing as good as she can, but she does not like being pet on the left side at all. The main injury is still her ribs, but she was burnt with a cigarette in 3 different places. Buddy, I would rent a wood chipper and put you on the 6 o'clock news. She's not scared of males, but she would rather not be close to them. He's not confirmed anything. His story is changing every day, ranging from he's lost her, hit her by mistake and she ran, hit her harder than he thought he would, and got scared that I would be mad, so he left her outside, and being sad that he did not do more to harm her. I can't and will not trust anything he says, but he does help me a lot by sending me messages. Thank you for asking. What a fucking monster. The fact that his friends and mother are at least aware of the actions that he's committed is at least a modicum of justice that I can get behind. He deserves far more, and perhaps even a nice swift kick to the ribs to teach him what it's like. However, it is what it is, and he's going to just have to deal with this. Megan the Pony actually leaves a very nice comment on this here. Just putting this out there, in case someone else is reading this and needs this information. 71% of domestic violence survivors reported that their abuser targeted their pet, either through physical harm or neglect. The animal abuse to domestic violence pipeline is well documented, and should be immediately seen as a reason to break up, regardless of how many people in your life are saying it's just a pet. Nearly 50% of abuse survivors don't leave their abusers because they don't have a place to safely take their pets. But thankfully, domestic violence shelters are recognizing this problem and taking steps to bridge the gap. They link to the Purple Leash Project, which I would highly recommend taking a look at. So, if your reason for staying is that you don't want to leave your pet, please know there are resources for you and people who are willing to help. It always breaks my heart to hear when an animal is being mistreated like this because you can't explain to them that it's not their fault and, monsters just sometimes exist, and you can't really explain that to them. There's no way to work it out with them so they can feel more safe and more secure, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it chews at my heart in a way that I can't really explain, and it makes me really sad. I mean, hell, I feel like shit when I accidentally step on a dog's paw because I can't tell them that it was an accident, and they look at me like I'm a monster. All I want to do is just make them feel better and make them understand that, I didn't mean to do that. They were just being a goober and got in my way, and I wasn't watching where I stepped because I'm lanky and awkward and feel horrible about it. But this? What this monster did? He 100% didn't lose Milo and was holding her hostage and using her as blackmail to get back with OP. And when that didn't work, dumped her on the side of the fucking road. May your fingernail beds be blessed with paper cuts and lemon juice, you fucking swine. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, of course, Satan is not a pogo stick. The original OP is No Depth 7474, posted to r/am I the asshole. Am I the asshole for being at a breaking point with my husband's made-up language? Posted September 20th, 2021. My other half has always been a bit goofy, giving his own names to things and doing impressions. About 18 months ago, this started to increase a lot. It's now a constant presence in our lives, and I'm finding it difficult to live with. Examples: he has his own name for most retail outlets, professionals, organizations. Eat Your Greens, Walgreens, and Sharts and Gobbles, Barnes & Noble. He has about 30 to 40 everyday words that he insists on using in place of normal ones. Scuppers, with a rising whistle at the end, is yes. Bing, with a descending whistle, is no, and bagayaya is good night. Are you dating a sim? He constantly does weird sound impersonations. Not like celebrities or characters, but a single noise that's a made-up sound or something childish, like a fart from a children's TV show. He speaks random words like garbage or douchebag whilst burping or farting. He's made up names for our friends, which he uses sometimes even under his breath when we're out with them. Pam and Will is pig and wig. I've just had enough. We got into bed the other night and I said good night and he said, bagayaya, in the high-pitched voice he always does it in. I snapped and asked why he couldn't just speak to me normally, and he just laughed, came right up close to my face, and did it again. His whistling is constant. He speaks to our kid in this stupid language, and I'm worried it's going to confuse normal language development because he changes the words so often. Our toddler could be about to hurt themselves, and instead of saying no or come here, he'll say some ridiculous made-up word or sound and then get annoyed when our kid doesn't know what he wants. He is normal in other respects, works in finance, and is totally professional around his colleagues, but different at home. I told him it needs to stop. I don't mind it occasionally or for fun, but it's all the time, and it's wearing me down. He got upset and said I couldn't take a joke and that I'm not fun anymore. It's true that I've become more irritable and noise-averse since we had kids, but I'm so worn out and over it and just want him to relate to me like an adult. Edit to answer some of the frequent questions. 1. I do not believe, but am not health qualified, that he displays any symptoms of Tourette's, autism, neurological disorders, etc., and hasn't ever done despite this. 2. He is physically well by all measures. He is for sure not having a stroke or significant physical health events. 3. Yes, I could see this could be a reaction to stress. 4. For those asking why I married him, he did not do this, or at least to this extent, before we had kids. Occasionally, yes, with the occasional name or words, but not this regular. He's amazing in many ways, but this one thing is now too much for me. I don't feel it's right to discount him or throw out the whole marriage because of it, but it does need to change. 5. He will not go to therapy. 6. We have discussed it calmly, previously. He did not take me seriously or make changes. He sees this as funny and just a joke. I agree that we need to talk more. 7. Yes, it can be funny. Occasionally. I'm not trying to spoil his fun. I also need an adult partner at times and for him to stop when not appropriate. Relevant comments. Crafty Addiction 9105. Is this a real post? Because if it is, you got problems, OP. Not the asshole. OP responds, I wish I was joking. I sometimes wonder if lockdown broke something in his brain. Capricious Helen comments, not the asshole. I do this kind of stuff a lot. Mostly the one about imitating stuff from shows. I quote random TikToks all the time and make weird noises to myself, etc. But I'm more than capable of cutting it out if I have to. I used to say, my guy, all the time until it became a habit. I don't know about that one, my guy. All right, my guy. That one specifically drove my ex up the wall, and when he told me he hated it, I made a concentrated effort to stop saying it. The fact that he doesn't do this around other people shows that he's more than capable of knocking it off when required, and that he's aware, at least on some level, that he's doing it. The only thing I can suggest, given that your husband doesn't seem receptive to an adult conversation, is that you refuse to engage with him unless he speaks properly. Like, if he says scuppers or whatever it was, just act confused and say, sorry, was that a yes or a no? Basically, don't react to those weird made-up things he's trying to say and show him you're not going to play ball anymore. OP responds, thanks. Yeah, I think this is a plan. It's been going on for so long now that I don't even have to ask for a translation anymore, so I tend to still reply to his nonsense. I'm going to stop answering unless he speaks normally. Chinchi, 1991 comments, not the asshole. Have you spoken to him directly about the fact that you've noticed he's doing this more often? Is it possible he's falling into this silly type of thing to cope with other stresses? I completely understand being annoyed by it, but if the frequency has increased, there is certainly a reason for it. Maybe giving him the opportunity to open up about this in conversation as opposed to a response to you snapping will shed some light and make things easier for everyone involved. OP responds, yes, loads of times. A few months ago, we had a serious but calm discussion about it, and I told him it was too much and I couldn't take it all the time. He said he didn't notice he was doing it, so I started pointing it out, and he got fed up and told me I was being way too picky. I just can't take it anymore. I'm sick of reminding him to not be so gross, burping and making weird noises whilst we're having dinner, and the high-pitched sounds make me want to claw my eyes out. He even does it while I'm trying to settle our toddler for bed, which just gets him all hyperactive and hard to settle. Kelly 08 Howell. Not the asshole, but kinda. Why would you have a kid with someone who refuses to act like an adult? Sounds like he's 12. OP responds, he did not act like this before we had kids. He's an amazing person in many ways, but this is a newer thing that is just grinding my gears. On the comment of whether or not he's high, I thought this was a user for a second. No, I'd be willing to bet our life savings on the fact that he's not taking drugs or drinking. It's pretty constant throughout the day. Thank you, though. OP added this to a deleted comment. Thank you. He's always been a big kid in some ways, but never like this before. He's not the loud, obnoxious type, not one for sports nights with the boys, etc. It's like it was a small quirk before and now it's taken over his personality. I think he'd blow up if I suggested it was a mental illness, though. Verdict, not the asshole. OP updates, March 8th, 2022, 8 months later under the same post. Update. It's been several months since I posted this, so I thought I'd come back to update as requested. He eventually agreed to get checked out. Confirmed neurotypical and no other health concerns. We were referred for marriage counseling and he wouldn't go. I ended it and am slowly rebuilding my life. Honestly, this post was just the tip of the iceberg and I'm exhausted, but glad to be out. He also ended up really insulting our close friends and it all spiraled into a complete hellfire. If this was the tip of the iceberg, what the fuck else was going on? Holy hell. Also, ignoring personality quirks or him being just a goofy child. I mean, I do some goofy shit, but this is just obnoxious and gross and weird. Like, ugh. But the thing that bothers me the most is him talking to his child with these weird gobbledygook words, because this is unacceptable. This will cause long-term damage to his child. Some of you might be familiar with recent reports that children who grew up watching Peppa Pig started speaking in a British accent despite being American. Kids pick up on language from their surroundings. I mean, hell, one of my best friends in high school, I thought they had an accent, but it turns out because their parents, spoke to them with baby talk until they were 5, they had a permanent speech impediment because of that. This is incredibly damaging, and it's incredibly concerning that when his child is potentially in danger, he doesn't exit fucking babble mode and actually speak to his child like an adult to alert them that, hey, this is unacceptable. He fucking does the bing or whatever the hell it is trying to get his attention. And the 3-year-old's not going to understand what's going on. They're just not. But in the end, they did end up getting a divorce by the sounds of it. And there is a massive part of me that can only just be in complete dread over the fact that this was the tip of the iceberg. What the hell else was going on? Don't forget, this is brought to you by GamerSupps. Use code ODDS at checkout. It's basically a caffeine powder that you put in your water, and I actually really like it. I use this on a daily basis. Don't forget that every purchase you make using code ODDS directly supports the channel. And if you want a personal recommendation from me, I would either recommend the Soda Pressing Pear or Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are currently my favorite flavors. And as a note, once we sell a certain amount of stuff, I get my own flavor and my own cup, and you all know I'm gonna choose some degenerate shit that's gonna make their PR team squirm. My goal is to make them regret partnering with me. So please, use code ODDS at checkout to make my dream come true of making a PR team squirm.